Okay, we're on question number 9. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me get my eraser out here. We're on question number 9. And I did it again, didn't I? I don't know what's happened with my computer here. So number 9. And number 9 is f of x. I'm going to go a little bit differently. I'm going to raise x to the minus 2. And the center here is at minus 2. Let me start writing derivatives down. I'm going to write this as, minus 2 times x to the minus 3. F double prime is going to be 3 times 2 x to the minus 4. F triple prime is going to be minus 4 times 3 times 2 x to the minus 5. All right, so I definitely see a pattern there. Let's start writing this down over here. Let's write down f of minus 2. And what's that going to give me? I'm going to be careful here. I'm going to write it a little differently. 1 over 2 squared. All right, that's done. Let's write down f prime at minus 2. Well, I'm going to write down, I'm doing this now. I see the minus 2. I'm going to say factorial, though, because I do see this as being a factorial problem. And I'll write this one as 1 factorial now. All right? And then what do you get? Well, you get this, this minus 2 to the minus 3, which is going to be minus 1 over 2 cubed. All right? I'm going to simplify that a little bit. I'm just going to say 2 factorial and then 1 over 2 cubed. Let's go to f double prime at minus 2. And I'll write this down as 3 factorial. And then when you see over there, you would see 1 over 2 to the 4th power. Let's write the third one down at minus 2. Well, that's going to be minus 4 factorial. And then I got this, well, it looks like minus 1 over 2 to the 5. What does this give me? 4 factorial times 1 over 2 to the 5. So I got my general pattern. I definitely see it. All right, let's write this down. So x to the minus 2, which is 1 over x squared, is going to be equal to, let's be careful about this, it's going to be 1 factorial over 2 squared. Let's see, times x minus a minus 2, which is x plus 2 to the 0 power over 0 factorial. Let's put the next term down, plus, we just did this one. Now we're moving on to this one over here. I'm going to say 2 factorial over 2 cubed, x plus 2 to the 1st power over 1 factorial. Put the next one down, which is this guy over here, 3 factorial over 2 to the 4 times x plus 2 squared over 2 factorial, right? By the way, it goes on forever. I don't want to go on forever, though. I want to kind of say I see a pattern to this. And what do you get over here? Let's be very, very careful about this. And I'm going to start writing these things down in a kind of a pattern that I'm seeing. 1 over 2 squared, x plus 2 to the 0, plus 2 over 2 cubed, x plus 2 to the 1st power. This one's going to be 3 over 2 to the 4th power, x plus 2 squared, yada, yada, yada. I'm ready to write my sum down. So what's the sum going to be? I'm looking at it. So what's the sum? Let's see. Let's start at, I'm going to start at 0. And we're going to go off to infinity. And I'll write this as one thing at a time down. I can put the x plus 2 down first. And I'll put n over here. It's going to be a 1. No, it's not going to be a 1. It's going to be an n plus 1. Get my eraser out. What I mean by that, it's 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing this though. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, what goes on the bottom? It's powers of 2. Let's be careful about that. So if I'm starting at 0, this is going to be n plus 2. All right? So what do I got to do now? I guess I got to do the radius and interval of convergence. Let's write that down for you. I'm going to do the ratio test. Limit n goes to infinity, absolute value, n plus 2 over 2 n plus 3 x plus 2 to the n plus 1 times the reciprocal, which is 2 to the n plus 2 over n plus 1. Put this in parentheses, by the way. And then it's going to be x plus 2 to the n. Let's keep moving. And let me do the 2 first. You get 2 on the bottom. And just do this. And I'll do the x's next. I'm just going to get x plus 2 on top. And then over here you get something that involves an n. You get n plus 2 over n plus 1. What's that limit going to be? Well, it just involves the n, so that goes to 1. So it's just going to be the absolute value of x plus 2 over 2. And x plus 2, the absolute value of x plus 2 over 2 has to be this over here, which means x plus 2 is between 2 and minus 2, minus 4, x, and 0. All right, so we definitely know the radius of this over here. Let me put my series down. This is a series over here. I know the radius is going to be 2. And why is that? The length of this is 4, so half of that's going to be 2. The interval has something to do with minus 4 and 0, though. So put this over here. The interval has something to do with minus 4 and 0. Now, by the way, my suspicions, I'm going to say that I want to test them out, but suspicion it's an open interval. But let's just go through that, and let's write that down. Let's try the 0 first. Let's try x equals 0. And what do you get over there? Let's see, n equals 0 to infinity. If x equals 0, you get n plus 1 over 2 n plus 2. And this would be, let's see, if it's 0, you get 2 to the n, right? I got some simplification to do there, don't I? N equals 0 to infinity. This is going to be n plus 1. And what goes on the bottom? It's 2 squared, which is 4. And this definitely fails the test for divergence, so that doesn't get included. Let's try the minus 4. What do you get over there? N equals 0 to infinity. And again, we're plugging it in to make sure you know what we're doing. We're plugging it in over here. And what do you get there? You get n plus 1. You get 2, n plus 2. And then you're going to get minus 2 to the n. All right, let's simplify. N equals 0, infinity, n plus 1. You get 2 to the n plus 2. I'm going to say this is 2 to the n and minus 1 to the n. All right, what does this give you? N equals 0 to infinity, n plus 1. You're going to get, let's see, 2 squared, which is 4, and then minus 1 to the n. And again, test for divergence, it fails again. All right, so this is my interval over here. Let me get an eraser because it doesn't look right with that. It looks like a squiggly line there. So let's take a look. I'm looking at the key, and the key I'm looking at is, they got 2 entries provided, and someone says why they do that. Sometimes people start at different positions, but I do see this over here. I see the n equals 0, I see this over here, I see this, I see this, I see this, and I see this. And we're good to go. Everything's working out as advertised. Thank you.